Here we are in Game 3 of the semifinals for the lower bracket in the Payne Street Nation StarCraft 2 tournament. This is Zombo Joe, the Terran in the top right, versus Infantry, as actually Zerg this time. Oh, this is going to be interesting. In the bottom left, I'd almost forgotten that Infantry was random because he got Protoss twice in a row. But this is going to be definitely an interesting game. I am the Reverend Shaky Jakes here with Executive.
I am Executive, and that hotkey you wanted is Control R.
Control R. See those units lost, or the workers lost.
I had totally forgotten that Infantry was playing as random because he was lucky enough, lucky in my opinion, to get Protoss his first two games.
Yeah, Bupkis, our Executive, sorry, is actually a Protoss player. How do you think he did with the Protoss, in your opinion?
He was late on his upgrades, late on the Forge, and double teching with the high temps and the Colossus. Other than that, especially in Game 2, very solid.
Yeah, he lost in Game 1 with that, and you're right. I mean, it was a very late expand, not many upgrades, and he let Zombo Joe get that macro game going, but in the second game, he all-in'd with that one base, and Zombo Joe was not able to hold it off.
Now, the key for Zombo Joe in this game is going to be, with some sort of harass, keeping Infantry from droning up and getting to that magic 60 to 80 drone mark, and then just overrunning him with wave upon wave of units here, and Infantry already putting down an expansion.
Yeah, Zombo Joe's going to see that expansion as he just finds Infantry's base, and he's going to see, actually, he's throwing down a spawning pool and an extractor as well. So he's not going fully economy at this point in the game, but he's definitely favoring more economy than not. And I think he should feel fairly comfortable with that because these guys are spawning cross positions. It's going to take a while for Zombo Joe to get any kind of forces over to Infantry's base.
He probably needs to get a scout out at least to confirm the position of his opponent and see if there's some sort of early aggression coming out.
Yeah, he does have the Overlord in the bottom right base, but that is not where Zombo Joe is. You see a lot of Zerg players who don't bother to scout, and I don't know whether that's you know, it doesn't change what you're going to go as a Zerg or not, but it doesn't. He's still not scouted at all, and
Infantry is throwing down the spine crawler at his natural here, trying to maybe turtle in, play a little more defensive while he drones up, and Queen almost done at the main.
Yeah, done at the main as well. It's almost done as a natural. With those two queens and one spine crawler, it can hold off a lot of forces, especially Terran forces. And I think he's going to rely on that fact. If he was facing a Protoss opponent, then one spine crawler may not be enough. But he's feeling fairly confident with this build right now. He is getting speed. And look at this, Zombo Joe getting Hellions with the Infernal Pre-Igniter, the blue flame. And so he's going to try to harass a little bit with those Hellions, but it's going to be hard. Look, two more Spine Crawlers going down, so it's going to be really difficult for those Hellions to get through there to the worker line.
Approaching the 6-minute mark, and Zombo Joe is still running on only one gas. Teching up to Hellions and going to the trouble of getting the blue flame. I'm not sure if that's a misstep on his part, or what he's got planned with only the one gas.
Yeah, he doesn't have a whole lot of aggressive units or unit producing structures. He's getting his command center, so he's going to expand. So it looks like he's going to just take this time to harass as much as he can, throwing down two more barracks, and then maybe in the mid game move into something else.
Zombo Joe, with the scouting read on his opponent, seeing the early expand, took the leisure of going ahead and taking a more relaxed build himself. That second command center almost done, no doubt, to float into his natural.
and finally getting that second refinery up. You know, you really, if you're not going to use the gas, it's better for you not to put down that second refinery. And with him just building Hellions and Marines at the time, that was probably a smart move. Zombo Joe, or Infantry, though, has all 4 of his gases up in his main and his natural. And let's look at his production. He's actually just started his lair tech, and hoping to move into a little bit more beefier units, I guess. He's still only got Zerglings at this point.
Looking at the Harvester's station, Infantry up 48 to Zombo Joe's 27. A huge economic lead, and with these 3 spine crawlers now at the top of his ramp, he'll be in good position to hold off any aggression that Zombo Joe may bring. Excellent position for a third player.
Yeah, especially with the fact that it doesn't look like Zombo Joe built that many Hellions. He's definitely not going to be able to push through there with just 4. He may be able to squeak by, but with this queen back there in the back, it's going to be hard for him to both get by and face off with that queen. He's just saturating his natural expansion, so that's definitely going to catch him up in the economy. And right now he is a little bit behind, but with these mules, it's definitely going to bridge that gap really quickly.
Zombo Joe has just had a tank come out, and it looks like no siege mode on the way, and medevac just popping out of our port. We'll be very surprised if we don't see tech coming down here shortly.
Looks like Zombo Joe may be going a similar strategy to what he went in the 4th game, but maybe he needs to step up his scouting a little bit, because Infantry is getting down his 3rd already.
Bit of a positioning error maybe on this 3rd for Infantry. I would have taken the 3rd more directly towards Zombo Joe. Easier to defend that. It's right on the way. But Infantry going for the stealthy expansion.
Yeah, I may be relying on the fact that Zombo Joe may not scout that area. And if he doesn't, then that's a perfect place to put that. As well as it's really not that far away from his natural expansion. So if he gets some creep tumors moving up to that base, then he's going to easily be able to move those whatever he's building as far as units up to defend. And he does have an infestation pit as well as Spire, so maybe see some mutas and infestors out very, very shortly.
Zombo Joe poking around with the medevac. He just inflicted some huge pain with a Hellion drop, killed off 21 workers in Infantry's main, coming back for seconds.
Wow, and he is killing a lot of workers. I totally missed the first one, but look how many are dead right now. The roaches are going to be able to clean that up, but wow, that was a lot of workers that were killed.
Only one Hellion manages to escape.
Yeah, we're looking at 28 workers killed for Infantry, and really no damage done to Zombo Joe at this point. But if we look at the units